Welcome to the super fun game review podcast. Go Mega Ultra Between Review Show. Down. Welcome to MUBRS.
My toes are clean.
So tonight, we are getting into the PlayStation 3.
Tres.
But first, a word from our sponsor.
Our sponsor? Clark, wait a minute. Do you mean...
Deep Creek Glassworks.
Holy
That's right,
shit.
Steven.
Holy shit. Oh, you put the N on there.
I did.
That's how I know you're serious. Why don't you tell us about them?
Deep Creek Glassworks has been in business since 2013, bringing you durable glass for that. Do you know anything about them, Steve?
Oh,
I think it's the crush-resistant boxes that really put them on the map.
you know what? I do believe the crush-resistant boxes are pretty awesome because if you order something from Deep Creek Glassworks and use our promo code SUPERFUN, you will receive 10% off your first order.
And free shipping.
And the shipping's free.
In those crush-resistant boxes.
In those crush-resistant boxes. How fucking crazy is that?
That is fucking incredible.
That is goddamn incredible. You know what else is incredible?
They're works of art.
They're works of art made entirely out of glass. It's awesome. So, glasses, pendants, sun catchers. If your mind has something, just go ahead and ask Tanner. And if you don't see something, custom work. How great is that? And not only that, you're supporting small business, and what better feeling?
Support businesses who support us.
Exactly. So
Big.
check out Deep Creek Glassworks. Works spelled WORX. Check out their Instagram, Etsy, Facebook. They're all over. They do craft shows in the southeastern central Pennsylvania area.
And Jersey.
And Jersey.
It's got a Wildwood coming when might be around the time of this episode release.
Exactly. Just go check out their website.
Let's get into some development of the PlayStation 3. All right, so the PlayStation 3 launched in November of 2006 in Japan and the US. It struggled at first due to its $600 price point.
That's a big one.
Yeah, that's a huge reason.
Even in today's market, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I mean, you know, PS5s aren't even like that anymore. So
No.
it had a huge price point right off the bat. It struggled with sales for a little bit. The technology behind it was a little more complicated than the easy-to-use Microsoft stuff. But everyone loved that it was the first. It had the gaming industry's first built-in Blu-ray player, and that's actually why I wanted one personally. Like when they first came out, I was like, "Oh, I want a Blu-ray player that's also a console. Fuck it, you know."
It's 2-in-1.
Yeah, exactly.
Same reason a lot of people got a PS2. They were like, oh, fuck, I can get a DVD player in my house?
Yep.
And a game console?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two birds, one stone.
So one of the interesting things that I was reading when I was looking up info for this, they premiered this with a tech demo for a remake of Final Fantasy VII.
Really?
Yes.
How interesting.
Very interesting. But I thought it was really funny because everyone was like, okay, so, you know, Final Fantasy VII remake when? And here we are with it coming out for the PlayStation 4.
2021.
Yeah, like, so I thought that was interesting. That was like their big E3 push was like, oh, look what we can do with Final Fantasy VII, and then it never hit that console.
Look what we won't do with Final Fantasy VII.
Exactly,
Barely hit PS4.
Yeah, it barely hit PS4.
There were a few where they're like, hey, we could probably do this with the PS3, and it's like, we're just going to wait until the next console. There were a few games like that.
Like
But
Grand Theft Auto 5ing it. Or Grand Theft Auto 5ing is
no.
Final Fantasy VII yet.
Grand Theft Auto 5 was actually the highest selling game for the PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
34 million copies.
It's a lot.
It's fucking wild.
It's a lot.
Yeah, because they only sold 87 million units.
Yep.
So that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
to buy this again.
There were 3 models available. There was the Super Slim, the Slim, and the original Fat Boy. And the Fat Boy came in 2 different flavors, the 20 and 60, and then later it came in 120, I think.
Nope. They only upped their hard drives after they went to Slims.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
The Super Slim was interesting to me. That was the one Kevin had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like a tray like the rest of them. And like you put the disc in the top like the original PlayStation was.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like slid to the side.
Yeah, the
and you
lid
click
slid to the
disc in.
side and you had to put the disc in the top. It
Like
was,
right, and like get the satisfying click.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, the disc is in there. We're ready to go.
Yeah.
It's in there.
That's preferable, honestly.
Yeah, because you don't like. I've had a few consoles break where I can't eject the disc anymore. Like I've had 2 Xboxes do that. My PlayStation 4 did that for like 2 years. I couldn't eject a disc.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if I could just take the disc out anytime I want, that's fantastic.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you mentioned the 2 different consoles at launch, the Fat
Yes.
Boys.
Yep.
They had the 60 gigabyte model, which was compatible with PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games, like physical copies. And then they had the 20 gigabyte model, which I didn't realize until I was doing some investigative research on this episode, where the 20 gigabyte model didn't have an HDMI port.
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
And it was $500
And
instead
it was
of 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No HDMI port.
They didn't sell that well.
So a couple of other awesome things. So this was a really like powerful machine for when it was released, as far as like its computing power and things like that. So some of the crazier things that you could do. So they had when they launched a thing called Other OS, where you could basically dual boot your PlayStation, where you could put a Linux operating system and basically have a computer
Heard about this.
and your PlayStation 3, and when you powered up, you could pick which one you wanted to launch into.
That was only the launch consoles, right? Because I think they removed that from the Slims.
So they actually removed it from the launch consoles as well, which
Oh, post launch patch.
yep, post launch patch.
Because they were getting
was-
scared that everyone was gonna pirate them, right?
Well, it was
mod
like
'em.
it was like 3 or 4 years later. I forget the exact time frame, but it was something around there. One of the firmware updates removed the feature
No
with
shit.
no warning.
Really?
Yeah,
So if you were using it as if you were using it as a PC, all your shit's like gone.
yeah. It just like bricked your like other boot system.
Which, to be fair, it's like, is that something that most users would see a difference in, or just the ones who are like very like tuned in
If
to
you-
like
if
the
you were using
specific
it-
shit?
There was a lot of people that used it because it was such a powerful machine.
Gotcha.
So they bricked it. They went into a class action lawsuit. It took fucking years to get through, but Sony did end up losing it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they had to end up paying like $4 million out to people.
Chomp change.
I mean, depending on how many people actually filed, like, yeah, it's chump change, but like still.
The 30 people that were really pissed off about that got no kidding.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hey, here's
Yeah.
here's $20 real quick. Sorry,
Everyone that I got this PlayStation when it launched, and I used it. Everyone that I knew around me that had a PlayStation
course
also
you
used
did.
it. So I thought it was a pretty cool feature. Some of the other crazy things that this console did, there was a feature called Folding at Home, which is still a thing. So think of it as, for our listeners, it's probably more comparable than anything to crypto mining.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term. It's not really, but it is. So basically what it is you lease your hardware out essentially to big name colleges and stuff like that, where they do computer research and they need algorithms to figure out different things for DNA research
like
and
formulas or something.
Yeah, where they need like a
They need
supercomputer.
equations solved,
Yeah.
pretty much.
So you can turn this feature on, and they basically send these equations to your PlayStation when you're not using it, and like it'll do all the computational
They
power.
source your hardware basically.
Yeah.
To
Yep.
use for their component. That's That's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah. So
I'm not gonna lie.
like I said, this was a crazy piece of machinery when it came out. Another crazy fact.
And it got dampened down.
They-
That's
They almost Dreamcasted themselves. Their first year looked a lot like Dreamcast.
Yeah, the first year was awful.
Yeah, where they were like having issues and like Sony was like really under the gun to like they were like, well, I mean, I'm making any more consoles. Like,
yeah. We're getting down to the wire. Give me 1 sec.
Which is the crazy part, because they launched with 24 games, which is a lot for
That's
a console.
a lot for a launch.
Yeah, and they were all terrible. So
There's the caveat.
yeah. So here's a crazy interesting fact. I'm going to read this straight from Wikipedia, essentially. So that's where it's from, but it's fucking sweet.
Quote it.
So in November 2010, the Air Force Research Lab created a powerful supercomputer by connecting together 1,760 Sony PlayStation 3s, which included 168 separate graphic processing units, 84 coordinating servers, and a parallel array capable of performing 500 trillion floating point operations per second, which are known as teraflops.
Yeah.
As built, the Condor cluster was the 33rd largest supercomputer in the world and would be used to analyze high-definition satellite imagery.
With PlayStation 3.
PlayStation 3.
Get the fuck out of here.
Like,
Where the military's like, the United States military's like, that looks pretty good. Let's just throw a shit ton of them in a room and see if this works.
Yeah.
And it did.
And it did, because like
That's fucking crazy.
it's because of the cell processor and the way that the processor was so easy to thread and chain to other processors.
Holy shit.
yeah.
Which they don't use the cell processor anymore. No one uses the cell processor. That's like a dead concept.
It's like a dead
architecture,
language by this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought
It's crazy.
pretty noteworthy stuff. Like this
Yeah.
console was ridiculous when it came out.
Right. Yeah, to have this back in 2007
Yeah.
when it came out, it's crazy. What else is the what other gaming platforms is the US military hiding from us right now? It's in there. It's in there. Super VR.
One other thing too is this was the launch of the PlayStation Plus service. Was on the PS3 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had the network connectivity thing, but that was all run through GameSpy.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
This was when the transition happened with a couple of those where it's like, oh well, now you just need to buy it.
They also very famously had a 3-month outage where you could not use the internet whatsoever on the console.
They did.
Because they got hacked, so like real bad.
Yeah, and they're like, here's all these free games.
Yeah. They're like, we're sorry, gamers.
It was
Here's
like right after Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right after Christmas for about
something
3 months
around, like,
until March.
Something around the U.S. holidays. And then I remember you could select the free games, and it was per account. So this was when I had 2 accounts on the PS3. So I selected the 2 games, because I think it was 4 total.
Yeah, there were 4 games.
Yeah, I selected the 2 games, and then my my girlfriend at the time selected the other 2 games, and then we just had free reign. It's like, okay,
Right.
bring it all in. I mean, I think one of them was like Little Big Planet.
Yeah. Yeah, there were 2. I remember there were 2 really good games and 2 games that were just kind of shitty.
Yeah.
It was Little Big Planet and Infamous were the 2 good games, and then it was some kart racer, and it was like a Nickelodeon kart racer.
I think it was called Baby Poopy Pants.
Sure,
Is pretty much what it should be called.
and it was like something else, some weird.
Yeah.
arcadey type
but
game.
no, that's an interesting point to bring up. I forgot about that.
So speaking of hacked, they also got not a hack, but they also had a glitch, sort of like a Y2K bug in 2010. What happened was they didn't account for the leap year.
What?
Yeah. So March 1st, they had an issue where all of the original PlayStations...
Do you mean February 31st or 29th?
Yeah. So all of the original PlayStations, like launch consoles, didn't support it. So they couldn't connect to the PlayStation servers because they couldn't authenticate because the dates were all incorrect.
Way to fuck up.
Yeah. So Sony had to patch their servers in order for the consoles to connect, and then they had to firmware update the consoles to fix the issue.
It's fucking wild.
Yep.
That is fucking wild.
Yeah. Fucking great.
Oh man, I literally took a training class on just because I was curious about IT prep right before Y2K. It was fucking wild.
Oh, yeah.
there were a lot of IT people that were just like, I don't know, everything's going to explode. Like, it's just like, what?
My
What do you
dad
mean?
like oversaw like an entire data center, and it's like, well, what happens tomorrow? He's like, hopefully it works.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
we had a bunch
what?
of these patches where people were like, "Yeah, it should work." You know, we've set the clocks forward and like into the future, and everything's fine. It's like,
Yeah,
but
should be should be okay.
I feel like a shit ton of money was spent on
Yeah.
fixing all that for Y2K.
There was a
There
shit
was.
ton of money
There
spent on
was.
Just-
everything of Y2K. We'll save that for the Y2K episode.
like why didn't they? Yeah, why didn't they think about that? Like when they first designed computers, like, oh, we're gonna
in the
make data-
50s. I don't think they were thinking 50 years ahead.
no, no.
Yeah, but like the
after the
2-digit
fact.
like year
Yeah.
system that they had.
When
where
you got
they're
into
like
the-
99 can't go to 00. It makes fucking no sense. Like,
Because anything that happens, it's like, I'm not going to look forward to a year in the future. I'm going to take it as it comes now. So once they got to like September of 1999, they're like, oh shit, there may be some implications
Yeah,
that come
uh-oh.
from this. And like, and then October comes and like, oh, it's looking like we're fucked. And then November, it's like, this may be the apocalypse. December, apocalypse. Everybody's
They were
dead.
saying all the
I
nuclear
can't do
missiles
this anymore.
worldwide
If the
were gonna
computer
launch.
says 00, we all die. The power grids go down. I need a siphon gas for my neighbor's truck.
So-
it's happening right now. It's like Dale across the street. Dale's dead. I'm killing him, stealing his wife and his food stash in the basement.
pocket sand.
Pocket, sha sha sha.
So in that training, there was like everyone considered him like they were just like, this guy's stupid. There was a guy in 1995 trying to warn everybody that like, hey, there's a problem with how the calendars work on all of these fucking computers,
It's Dale.
and no one is listening to me. And like, he got pretty much like blacklisted out of the IT community, and they were just like, yeah, he was right. And
Yeah, no, he
I was
got
like-
it.
I was like, oh, did he ever come back? He's like, no, he left the career and shit like that. It's fucking wild. Like,
Yeah,
but-
save that for the Y2K episode of the second 100 episode of MUBRS. There we go.
Oh, wow. That's not even that far away.
No,
Yeah.
it's not that bad.
Wait, what?
90 go.
That was confetti in the.
This
fan
is like
here,
105 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, confetti in the fan.
Y2K.
It's a great time.
MUBRS 200.
We just referenced that in the last MUBRS.
I know. A little bit more context.
All right, so,
So-
let's bring it back.
Our parents
Yeah,
were just
a
like,
lot
yeah,
of
no,
that's
cut up the
gonna get
paper.
cut.
They're like, oh no, you're not gonna die. Just cut paper. Just cut paper.
The hands aren't connected.
So, what was everyone's initial interactions with the PlayStation 3?
My Xbox 360 died, and I needed a new console, so I bought PlayStation 3 because I was allowed there.
So you were late in the cycle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a slim.
Gotcha. Okay. Harry,
I really, really wanted a PS3. That was actually my first choice. But everybody was like, nah, no, get the 360. All your friends are doing it.
it was a better
We
console.
did.
It was.
So
All said and done, it was the better console. You know.
that's fine.
The 360?
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
I
oh,
got
it
talked
was.
out of getting a PS3 though.
Yeah, no.
I had to pick one. They were too expensive, and
Right.
like this is kind of like
Yeah.
young Harry.
You're like,
living-
I'm in college. Like,
yeah, in college,
Right.
had an apartment.
Yeah, no.
Just yeah, those were my broke days. So it was like pick one.
Welcome to Steve World. I can't afford anything.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
I
back to
get
broke
this.
days. Buying a house.
welcome to home ownership.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just been a bad year.
Okay.
Joe?
So I had a launch console, the 60 gigabyte John. Honestly, I think I got Resistance when it came out and one other game. and I barely played it, to be honest with you. I got it because I wanted it.
I know what your other game was.
I know. I wasn't going to mention it.
Okay.
Because I know it's your interaction.
Yep.
And yeah, so I got it because like I'm fucking tech nerd. Like I gotta have like all the things when they come out. But I barely played it. Yeah. Like I already had a 360 at that point.
You let me borrow your PS3 for like a month.
Yeah.
Pretty
Hold
sure.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I barely played it. I think you guys played it my PlayStation more than I did probably the first year.
Were you still in the army when you got your PS3?
Yeah.
So I think you came home on leave and left it with me, and then when I was done with it, I handed you Joe's.
So when I gave you my PS3, you couldn't even play it for like the first week and a half or 2 weeks or whatever when I gave it to you.
Yep.
Because they had this stupid thing where, so I had a 1080p TV, which in 2007 when it launched was actually like kind of ridiculous.
Really nuts, yeah.
And but if you had a 1080p TV and then you like moved it to another TV that didn't support 1080p, you had no output.
Right.
There was no way to change it.
Yes, I remember this. No, you came back and I got it from you. But yeah.
So Clark had to give it back to me like several weeks later of just like it sitting in front of him, unable to be played.
Oh God.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah. And then he fixed it for me, and then I was able to play it.
I remember having to like pull out a different TV to hook it up and be like switch the settings over.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it was done, like re-plug into the new TV to come back and like be able to play it.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a smart switch.
Yeah. No, it was not. It was not a smart switch at all.
So go ahead, Clark.
But yeah, so my first experience with this was Joe, I think, was home for leave and said, "Hey, I don't play this, and I know you love these fucking games, so here's a PlayStation 3 and Metal Gear Solid 4." And I was like, "Oh my god, it's the only reason I want a PlayStation 3. Yes." And then, yeah, it sat for like 3 weeks because I couldn't play it. But then I got it fixed, and then my first experience was playing Metal Gear Solid 4, and I was fucking blown away because the graphics in that still hold up to current gen. It's kind of fucking ridiculous. Yeah, so that was my experience. I played probably the best graphic game on PlayStation 3 right as the first experience, and then nothing really held a candle to it for the rest, except for maybe like Uncharted later. But yeah, you gave me Resistance too, and I never played Resistance. I ended up playing it once I bought my PS3 and fell in love with the Resistance franchise as well. But yeah, it was Joe's PS3 and Metal Gear Solid 4 was my first experiences.
That's why I borrowed his PS3. I'm like, I need to play 4. Give me that.
Okay. You know, at one point, I just want to mention this because I have nowhere else to put it in this episode.
Sure.
There was another period of time I almost convinced myself to get a PS3 again. I saw a trailer on TV, and you know how like some games will do that one trailer that just like really fucking nails it every once in a while?
Oh, yeah.
Like Gears of War when they did
yeah.
What the fuck?
The one with Mad World.
Mad World,
Yeah.
like they just nailed that ad. There was an ad for a game called Bayonetta on TV.
Yeah.
And I thought they did the trailer just so good. I was like, I gotta play this game.
Did you ever end up playing Bayonetta?
Nope.
It's available on a bunch of different stuff now.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just like
Might be able to play that on PS4 now. I think there's an HD version of it. It's a fantastic game too.
it looked awesome.
It's Devil May Cry. It's just a female version of Devil May Cry. You're a witch instead of a demon.
Okay.
There you go.
Right.
Cool. No, it looked awesome.
Yeah.
So that was my
Cool. That was it. You were just drawn in by the ads. Like, I need this thing.
Yeah, no. Some games they nail their ad.
Of course they do.
Yep.
Like the Goat Simulator ads.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
The Goat Simulator trailers are so good.
Yeah, they are. They really are.
Because they just keep like recreating the fucking Dead Island trailers.
Yeah.
Yep.
Made me buy the game.
I don't know if I've seen any of those.
Oh,
they're
just
great.
Goat Simulator's fun.
Now, you need to
trailers
come
are
over. We'll get drunk and play Goat Simulator, and that's a
That sounds like a fun night. I went in on that.
Okay, cool.
Let's move into our top fives.
Yeah, let's do it. Remember?
All right. Let's start with number 5.
Alrighty.
Who would like to go first?
I'll go first. Red Dead Redemption.
Nice.
Ooh, yeah.
Such a fun game, and that was my, I never played Red Dead Revolver, so Redemption was like my first.
Introduction.
Yeah, exactly, and I just could not be. Oh, come on, man.
I'll just follow up my number 5 with Red Dead Redemption.
Oh no.
Yeah. That game is just absolutely fucking
so good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It is. I think it is one of the best games of that generation in general. It would probably be on my top 5 list of all games of that generation.
My number 5 is Battlefield 3.
Ooh, Battlefield 3 is really good.
Okay.
It was one of those games that I basically bought because the console was launching and there wasn't a lot to play for me, and I was like, I need an excuse to test this out and really put some time into it. So I bought Battlefield and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I enjoyed 3 more than 4, to be completely honest.
I really
Same.
enjoyed Bad Company. That was actually my favorite of the Battlefields of like that generation for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bad Company was just ridiculous.
What was your 5?
I do not have a numero cinco.
Okay.
What? Just so we know,
I have 3.
you have 3. Okay, all right,
Okay.
all right. Number 4.
I'll go. Final Fantasy XIV: A Realm Reborn.
Oh,
All right.
Talked about it several times. Final Fantasy MMOs are my fucking kryptonite.
Yep.
It's so good.
I never gave 14 the time of day, and I really regret that.
It's still like the biggest MMO out there.
Dude, every time they release something and they're like, you can get everything for like $5. I'm like,
It's
yeah,
free-
but I have to pay.
It's free to play.
Well, you can get all the expansions for $5. Whenever there's like a new one out,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, here's the new expansion that's like $30, and then you can get everything else for $5.
Yeah. So
Like, God damn it.
it's free to play up to level 60 for any class.
Oh, so there's no monthly subscription anymore?
There is if you want to go progress past it. Yeah.
So you got an option.
That's
at
cool,
least.
though. Like,
it's still like
yeah.
months of gameplay.
Sure.
I'm
Sure.
sure.
Free.
Yeah.
So intimidating. I just don't have that kind of time in my life.
It's so good
Not
though because
anymore.
it's like you had like the subclass of Final Fantasy 11,
Yeah.
but like you weren't limited to just one. Like your one character could be everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could be like, oh no, like I want this red mage spell and like this samurai skill and like really go ham on it. It's
You can't do that in 14, you're saying?
you can.
You can. That's
Okay.
That's
But like
the
11
crux
you
of
were
it.
like, okay, no, I'm like a white mage with
35
with a
and
red
a black
mage
mage,
sub
yeah,
skill
yeah.
and that kind of thing.
and you only have those skills available to you, whereas in this one you can kind of
If you have the
create
thing
your own.
leveled, like you have those skills.
Okay. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking dope.
Harry's like, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Harry's shaking right now.
I know I don't have the time.
No,
it takes
you
like
don't.
This just becomes a Final Fantasy 14 podcast.
it took like everything that was in 11 and just like made it better with like the open worldness and
You
like
can't say that to Harry. You do this to him, Harry.
because like you don't have to like party search. It's so good. It's so good. Like I said, there's a reason it's still like the fucking one of the biggest games.
Cool.
Harry, do you need it?
Teleport him.
1K?
1K. Meat Rod.
Carbunculations.
All right. My number 4, Life is Strange.
Nice.
This game,
You played that on PS3?
I did not, but I will include it on PS3 because I do not believe we're going to do a PC.
I thought we were going to do a PC retrospective.
No, there's no like. There's like a talk about other things you want, but
Yeah, because
We
I
might
feel
be
like
able to
there's
sneak one in, though.
I think we should do a PC one.
I'd be
there's
totally game.
Yeah, there's
I'm down. I'm
yeah.
down.
Well, you know what? Then at least
know.
let this be the crossover. I know. Yes. So
all
let-
hot. bothered.
700 games.
My honorable mentions.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, God.
so I did play.
Try to keep it to 50.
I did play this game on PC, but it came out for PS3 like originally, or at least from what I found here. So I at least wanted to put that on my top 5 list to make sure it was
You can
represented.
always tell games when they come out for PlayStation first because the characters and things like that will have like Sony phones, like heavily
Oh, yeah.
branded
Yep.
and shit.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
I mean, there was some product.
Product placement, yeah.
Yeah, it happens.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I do feel like it deserves to be on my list.
Cool.
My number 4 is Uncharted 2.
Ooh, there you
Uncharted
go.
2 is actually the reason that I ended up purchasing my PlayStation 3. It's just an incredible game, and the addition of multiplayer in it, I played the multiplayer forever. It was just so awesome. And it's something that I was very critical of every time that we did like one of the collections things for Uncharted, that it's missing a core part of the game that is excellent. So, yeah, Uncharted 2 is my number 4.
Cool.
Nice.
I like the Uncharted games.
They're fantastic and
all right.
PlayStation exclusive.
All right, Harry, what's your number 3?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
Nope,
mean
I was going to do the same
Okay,
thing.
sorry.
Oh, cool. I was gonna say, so I played primarily on the 360, but Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Okay.
So good.
Nice.
My neighbor had it, and I played it on PS3 one night because he was like, "Oh man, I just got this PS3. You gotta check it out." And I knew about the game. I
Yeah.
was always going ape shit on that.
We
game.
were already
Yeah.
rooting tooting by that point.
The one thing that was really good about Modern Warfare 2 on the PlayStation 3 is the community was much worse at the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was storming these motherfuckers on PS3. Like 360, you know, like it was super competitive scene.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Every-
where the competitive scene was on the 360.
Yeah, but like this was so casual.
Yeah,
Like,
PlayStation
I
is
just
super casual.
rocked it. He was like, how are you doing that? I was
It's like-
19 kills in a row. Like it
Yeah.
was something stupid.
get good, bitch.
Yeah.
So yeah, Modern Warfare 2.
Nice.
I think we talked about that a lot on the 360 episode. But
Yeah.
that game's
All right, just I hate to say, get it out of the way. Metal Gear Solid 4 is my number 3.
It is a really good game.
It is a good game, and
I'm going to talk about mine at length when I talk about Metal Gear. So
yeah,
Yeah.
I just it just does not rank higher in the PS3 category, but it's up there in the Metal Gear Solid category, I guess is a way to say it. It's just
Cool. I never beat it.
okay.
I don't think I've played it since I gave it to you guys.
No, yeah,
That's a
and
damn shame.
The only reason
Are you
I
surprised,
got
though?
the only reason I got to play it was because that was why you let me borrow your PS3 and like I need to play Metal Gear Solid 4. Can you help? You're like, here.
Yeah.
Cool. 3 weeks later, I'm like, here it is back. Thank you.
Man, I wish I was in the army where I just had stupid money to just spend on whatever.
I wish I just had stupid money too, but we can't all go fight wars, Joe. Not anymore.
Fair.
Don't
Yeah.
worry, I'm paying for it now.
Yeah.
yep. So anyway, Joe, number 3.
My number 3 is Little Big Planet.
Yes, mine is also
Ooh.
Little Big Planet. That would be my number 3.
It's such a great game. Like,
So much fun.
it's such a great like couch co-op game that like it's absurd.
It was the best. It was the best. I loved playing couch co-op on that. I've never had that much fun playing a platformer with anybody. Like
You didn't have to be like good at it either.
No.
Yeah.
It's like it was enough to like grasp the concept of the game, and
Yeah.
then you can play whatever levels like the game had made for you, and then you can go online
And download the custom levels. Yeah.
the other maps. And I remember Mike Benedict getting banned several times because of certain shapes he would make with certain items, and they were extremely obscene, but they fit the map, which was good. So I was kind of torn. It's like, he's doing a good job. Yeah, no, that's going to upset the the rating
community,
system.
yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the things that I loved about it the most was being able to play with my now wife.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a lot of games that we can play together. Like, it's like Little Big Planet, the Lego games, and not much else. Not because we don't want to play games together or she's not good at playing games, but we just like very different types of games.
Yeah.
Sure.
And
But
like-
this is the one that you can find a common ground. It's like, let's sit down and have a drink together and just fucking play this game for the next
Yeah, and just laugh at
6
Sackboys
hours
for a long time.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you how many times we stood at the little pregame like lobby where like you're in the TV and just
Yeah.
like slapped each other and stuff like
Oh, I forgot about that.
and like all the different like the unlockables, Harry. Oh my god.
so many.
Like literally 400 or 500 per game.
It was like
And they're all customizable stuff. It's like, oh, you can unlock this for your character or
Yeah.
or like stickers and things like that.
it's a lot of fun.
you have like different helmets, you have gloves, you got chest pieces, you got boots, you got tails, you got like capes.
I think it's the most inventive platformer since Mario. Like, I think it is on the same level of innovation in platforming.
think that's a fair assessment. Yeah.
Since Mario, like
Yeah.
honestly, like I think it is just an absolutely incredible game. I used to sit at my buddy Rich's house, who's passed away, and me, him, and our buddy Dude Man would always sit there and play. And Dude Man was a very intimidating person.
Hence dude man.
Hence Dude Man.
Dude, man.
He was
Yeah.
always a very intimidating person, but like me and Rich would always just bully him in that game. And it was just like, but it was so much fun. And like, we just did it out of like, just like, it was so much fun. He's like, he's like, I'm trying to keep up with you guys. And I'd like grab him by the fucking face and pull him through levels. Cause that's another thing too, is like, if you're playing with somebody who's like not very skilled, they still have fun. You can have fun. And it's like extra challenge. You're like, okay, I
Right,
need to
yeah.
get this person through the game. Like, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh, grab, jump, grab on, pull. Like, oh man. It just,
AKA, fuck this guy.
yeah, like it was just incredible. Or like, we're about to like, there's like a closing door and you have to get out before like gas rises and stuff, and the person's just like dawdling and you just smack them off the edge because you're like, if you die, I'll just get you back at the next screen and then run. Like, it was just, oh man, I have never had that much fun playing a couch co-op game.
So
It's-
good.
It's so good. It's so good. I would
So
love
much fun.
I think the four of us sitting down and like live streaming that would be fucking awesome.
I mean, to be fair, the four of us sitting down and live streaming anything of a couch co-op would be awesome.
Yeah.
But
for
that
sure.
would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me do my number 2. Did everybody do their number 3?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Yep.
Not. He hasn't done it yet.
My number 2 is Little Big Planet.
Nice. Nice.
I have limited experience with it, but I did enjoy the custom search. Let's put in Matrix. And then,
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this Matrix themed level now. And
Yeah.
like, just I don't know.
Did you
Pick
play
a word.
any of that with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I only played with you.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Because I remember that you said Matrix, and I was like, I
know,
played some Matrix
wait a
levels.
minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We played it upstairs when your bedroom was upstairs at your mom's
Oh
house.
yeah. Yep. Let's get into your number 2, Steve.
Ooh.
Who does number 2
To work for. He works for Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I had so much fucking game. With this fun.
The ladies would say no.
I had so much game with this fun.
I had,
Super game.
exactly. I had so much fun with this game. It was very close in some of the other Assassin's Creed series that I played on PS3, but this was the one that just had to make the list. I could still keep playing it and annoying my wife with the sea shanties.
I think
day in and day out.
I think Black Flag is one of the best of that series. I really want to check out Valhalla. I'm waiting for it to go on sale for the inevitable. I know it will $5 at some point.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna just pick it up and like I'll probably play half of it and just be done with it. But like, Black Flag was one of the only Assassin's Creeds other than the first one where I was like, I need to get through all of this. I need to play all of it. I need to understand like what's happening and stuff like that.
That same, and the only other one that gave this one a run for its money was Assassin's Creed 2. Which
it was okay.
That's where you meet Ezio.
We did
and
both of those for the podcast. Are those the highlights of Assassin's Creed?
For me, yes. Right now, without getting into it, because we're
Let's just say yes,
yeah.
just so nobody ever has to pitch another fucking Assassin's Creed game on the show again.
Yeah, I think between we have reached the pinnacle of Assassin's Creed so far, and then we can leave it there.
Of the Assassin's Creed 2 trilogy, Brotherhood is the best, but we don't have to ever delve into it. I'm never going to pitch it as a game. So,
well, 4
I'm done with Assassin's Creed games.
4 is my number 2.
I just want to just talk on that real quick though. I will say, I didn't love that game, but I do have sea shanties on my Spotify playlist now.
So some of it
had
stuck
an
with
impact.
you.
It had an impact.
Early in the morning.
You know, I got to say, I just listened to a documentary about, or a podcast about Blackbeard, and what they got correct in Black Flag was actually really impressive.
It was pretty on point.
It was really on point.
Yeah.
I got to say, and that's impressive.
But it seems like they try to be as historically accurate with their games as possible.
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah,
I
they
feel
like
like
they like to take liberties. I mean, like Da Vinci didn't like outfit the assassins and shit like that, but like you know what I mean. Like,
but I feel like that was that's good enough for me. Black Flag number 2, definite.
So my number 2,
yes, Joe. What's your number 2?
Red Dead Redemption.
Yes,
So good.
nice.
This is so every now and then, like I think a couple of us has done this where it's just I have like too much vacation at the end of the year, and I'm just like, well, I'm taking a whole month off.
Yep. When we used to get that.
I mean, I'm still gonna end up with that this year. I think I'm gonna take like the
Good
entire
for
month of December
fucking
off.
you.
Nice.
But I'm pretty sure like Red Dead was like one of those games where I picked it up, and then like I put it down, and all of a sudden it was a week later. You know, like one of those deals where you're just like, oh, that just happened. Like I just
Where did time go?
My entire life just disappeared for a week because I was just in this game.
Yep.
Indeed.
Lived it. Just like lived through. You're just like, oh, I need provisions. And you walk downstairs and you get some whiskey and some fucking bread, and you walk back upstairs and you're just smoking cigarettes. And
My beard has grown 2 fortnights by this point.
You're like, oh, let me go to the store. I gotta unhinge my horse.
Oh man.
But that game, like the story development, the gameplay, like there really isn't a bad moment in that game.
Have you guys played Red Dead 2?
I haven't.
Yeah, I made it about 35% through the storyline. God, like the main story. I really just want to pick that up again.
Absolutely love Red Dead Redemption. 2 is better in almost every single way.
I love the direction it was going. I just never really took the time to get back into it.
It's a long game, and we did review it. So stay away from that review.
I think that was you
Ralph
and Ralph.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and just from the fact that, I mean, how many years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is still on my list of a game that I need to see to the end.
Same. Yeah.
It's totally worth it. My number 2 is Infamous.
The first one or second son?
The first one.
Okay, nice.
That game was, to me, It's Grand Theft Auto with superpowers.
Yeah, it's like
basically
every superhero game you ever wanted, basically.
Yes. It was like the culmination of everything that I ever wanted in a super game or a superhero game.
A super game.
Super game, God!
Well, so it was like, anything I
comes
ever
back on
wanted
you.
in a superhuman game. And you can be good or evil, and you're like, just like scaling a city, you're running around. It had better traversal than Assassin's Creed. You can't fly, but you can like jump and glide.
You can glide, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
like Spider-Man beats Fable.
yeah, it was it was absolutely incredible. It's one of the best superhero games I think that you can play.
That I actually put on my console defining list.
Yeah, it
Was infamous. I mean,
absolutely is.
it was. I mean, at least for PlayStation.
Yeah, definitely.
And Infamous 2 is great as well. I'm not taking anything away from that. It's just the first one struck a chord with me, and the second one just is even better, and the third one on PS4 is great too. But yeah, Infamous is by far my number 2.
Number ones.
Uno.
Who wants to go first?
I will. It was mentioned Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Nice.
You played that forever on PS3.
Dude.
I did.
I
Anytime
remember
I came over to your house, it
Couch
was just
co-op.
like, oh yeah, everyone hop in, play.
So the
Yep.
great part about that was like the fact that like I came over your house all the time too, and like that was one of the few games that let you like sign in as a second player.
Yes.
So like I lived literally in the same apartment complex as Steven. I could just go over, we would couch co-op and play, and I would be signed into my PlayStation account and have all the shit I unlocked. And everything
Yep.
I unlocked at Steve's house would be there when I got home.
Yep.
It was amazing.
PlayStation Network.
The builds that they had were just, I mean, a lot of them were just stupid.
hunts.
Yeah. Just witching builds. It's like, just knives fucking everywhere. The maps were great, and what really gets me with like the Call of Duty games is the story as well. And I feel like that really hit on a point that really engaged me in a story mode of a first person shooter. A lot of times that can kind of get like pushed to the wayside and whatnot. This one, that was not the case. I mean, Modern Warfare 2 was the infamous like airport scene where it's
Yeah.
like, remember, no Russian, and you're just walking through, and it's like that. That's not like, oh yeah, cool, let's just kill a bunch of people, but like the intensity of the scene is what really kind of drew you in. It's like into the story. It's like, oh, we're not fucking around. It's like there's, this scene there, this
There's some gravity
gameplay
to this.
yeah. And this gameplay has been banned in like a couple of countries where like this may be a little bit much, and I don't know. It's just like between that and the multiplayer, the options and the fucking maps for the multiplayer were just
The best.
yeah, they really were. It's like I could not be upset at that. So
Low
yeah,
key looking forward to the new Modern Warfare a lot.
yeah.
Is it Modern Warfare 4 now?
No, they're remaking 2.
They're
it?
remaking 2 again?
Yeah.
No, not again.
Yeah, they did Modern Warfare. They did
The
do
first
Modern Warfare
one.
2.
They haven't done the second one yet.
Oh, I thought they did. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't pay attention to Call of
No,
Duty anymore.
I don't either by this point, but if they say, hey, Modern Warfare 2 remake or remastered.
They did something with Modern Warfare 2. They added the maps to something.
Yeah, they did. They
Okay.
added like Newtown and some of the other maps too.
I don't even remember all the maps anymore.
Which one was? I don't remember which one it was, but they did add some of the maps.
One of the
to it.
Black Ops games, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Got the
Wouldn't
maps.
surprise me.
I've only skipped like one Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Since then, because it's a great game to just pick up and put
Yeah.
a couple rounds in.
I like Warfare. I like Call of Duty Modern Warfare or Warzone. That's what it's
Oh,
called.
Warzone? Okay.
Yeah, the Battle
Warzone's
Royale.
different. Yeah.
Battle Royals are like kind of my first-person shooter if I'm going to
Gotcha.
play anything right now.
I'm always a fan of the 6v6. Let's just throw you in a small area and try to live.
Yeah. Martyrdom. Love it.
Damn.
You fucking me, I fucking you.
Right. Other number ones.
Hap.
Dead Rising 2.
Oh.
Okay.
They fixed everything from the first one, honestly. 'Cause the first one, I wanted to, what did they call it? It wasn't a platinum trophy on the 360, but
I don't think they called it anything.
They didn't have any.
They didn't have like a
anything?
name for it or whatever. No.
Okay, well, I wanted to get all the achievements on it, and I remember that you had to have 50 people survive in a campaign.
On
in
the first one?
In
Yeah.
the first one. And the AI
Was dumb.
atrocious on the first one. They would run right into like hordes of zombies and get themselves
Cool,
killed.
I'm gonna go
Or-
die now.
Yeah, they would just do the dumbest shit and just reload over and over and over again. They fixed the AI on the second one. They were capable of doing work for you. Like if you had like a string of survivors that you were transporting, they were just like mowing people down. They like came equipped with decent weapons. They knew how to handle themselves.
You could give them guns, and they would actually use the guns effectively.
Okay.
You could arm up a group of the civilians and take them against a psychopath, and
Like a
like
small
they won't
militia?
all die. Yeah. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah, and they're like they still had the like this the staggered missions where they'd be counting down like on the top of the screen because time is progressing, but they were much more easier to kind of manage time wise instead of like I got 3 minutes to get across the mall and do this one, and then like 4 minutes after I complete that one I have to be again across the like they were it was much less frantic.
It's a shame they don't make those games anymore.
Yeah.
They did the dumbest thing ever. So the first one was 360 exclusive. The second one was PS3 exclusive.
Way to segment your market.
Right.
The third one was Xbox One exclusive. And then they did a bunch of repackages to release on all systems. It's just like, what did you guys? Why?
We didn't know where we wanted to go, and then at the end, we thought we should just share this with everybody.
I've never even played the fourth one. There is a Dead Rising 4, and Frank comes back from the first.
Yeah, I
game.
heard about that. I
Yeah.
heard about that.
I was just like, meh.
But no, the second one was really, really solid.
Yes.
I thought it was a great.
Yeah.
Well, it's my favorite in the series, honestly. I think it's hands down better than the frustration of one. Although I think the setting was cooler in the first one.
Yeah, the mall.
The mall was just, how do you beat that?
Oh, the casino was pretty cool.
Yeah, the casino was cool. It's just, I love one of my favorite zombie movies is
Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
It takes place in the mall, and it has that same like comedy level to like it just feels like they transition from the movie
With Phil Dunphy. Being a total dickhead. I'm not bit. No, you're definitely a bit. You're real pale. Nope. It's gas. Everyone's like, shut the fuck up. And then he's like, "Rah!" I caused the outbreak. It's like, God damn it. God damn it, Phil Dunphy.
But yeah, the second one, great game.
Yeah.
And we tag team that whole thing. It was just like,
Yep.
I think it was like an after work thing. Like we were like, oh, I'll be over soon. We're
Yep.
just kinda-
I went, picked up my pre-order. I got like the super special edition of it or whatever. And the first thing I did was call Harry. I was like, Harry, I got Dead Rising 2. And you're like, I didn't even realize that came out. I was like, what are you doing after work? And you're like, coming over to play Dead Rising 2. We played a fuck ton of that game. Oh, man. So good. Oh, Joe, number one?
The Last of Us.
Oh.
So I pre-ordered this when it came out, and I beat it in 2 days. It's literally like I pre-ordered it, I took off work, and I put 2 16-hour days in,
Damn.
and I beat it.
Holy shit.
And then the next weekend, I beat it on Veteran.
Damn.
Did the
Again,
PS3
damn.
version have the online multiplayer?
Yes.
Yes.
It did. Okay.
Yeah.
I wish they brought that back for Last of Us 2. I really enjoyed the.
It was
That would have
fun.
been cool, especially
fun.
with like the improved controls.
Yeah,
in
yeah,
2.
yeah.
It would have been
Yeah.
interesting.
It was. I don't know. I thought it was always fun.
It was
Yeah.
it was a very cool concept. But yeah, I talked about it a little bit during the Last of Us 2, but the first one just it pulled me in from like the opening scene, and I was just like, I mean, Naughty Dog's storytelling is fucking amazing.
It's incredible. They really nail it with like, you know, all the Uncharted games, Last of Us 2.
Yeah.
This is my number one. You can shut the fuck up.
Are they doing
parts of Last of Us?
Right. Aren't they doing another remastered?
Yeah, they're releasing Last of Us again instead of just give us another game or something. Jesus Christ, like, does that need to be the new Skyrim?
I just asked because I heard something about it.
Yeah,
so.
they are.
Okay. It's a really good collection of art, though. The first and the second.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was one of those games that came out late generation PS3.
Yeah.
And didn't have a free upgrade to PS4.
No.
Which I was real salty about because, like, so I pre-ordered it, which had the DLC, and the DLC, like, came out, like, as PS4 was launching.
Yep.
And it wasn't compatible with PS4, and I, like, got a PS4 at launch, and I was like,
PS4s were not hard to get at launch.
I don't see myself going back and playing this, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where I played it, which was nice to have, like, the first remastered version rather than the seconded remastered version.
For PS5.
Yeah, exactly. It's like I was just talking about this with Erin, like my old roommate, and she was like, "Oh, you heard that the next one's coming out?" I'm like, "I already have it on like 2 other systems. Like I'm good, but great game, but I don't
like,
need to see it in like 60 extra pixels or whatever the fuck they're doing."
Yeah, like any 14-year-old that didn't play it like when it came out or like early PS4.
Give them the PS3 version. Here you go. Enjoy this.
And if you had a PS4, it was basically free, like several times.
Yeah, just
so.
Yeah, well, I got the PS4 with the free copy.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
So, but yeah, great game. Thought it was fucking amazing.
Goddamn right.
Their world building was top notch.
So good.
It's fun time. Are there any other number ones?
Yep, mine. Metal Gear Solid 4.
There you go.
It was my first game that I played on the PS3. It's still one that I think about. I think the storytelling in that and wrapping up just like a giant saga that is like the Solid Snake. Like just everything. It's just incredible. And, you know, not a lot of video game companies or directors or anything like that will go out and literally give you like a 2-hour closing video.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
It's basically a movie at the end.
It is.
And I think it's incredible because there's so many things going on in the Metal Gear series, and he wraps them up in such a good way that I think it's very like well done, and I think it's a modern piece of art, honestly. But you know,
I'm happy that this is your number one game.
Yeah.
So that way it's represented like extra because you're extra, and there we go.
So yeah, let's move into honorable mentions.
Surprisingly, I have an honorable mention.
Okay, but you didn't want to put it on your list?
Yeah. Well, I didn't play it, so.
Okay.
But I want to mention, honorably, that I own only one PS3 game, gifted by Ralph. It was the PlayStation All-Star Heroes game.
Oh, yeah!
So, just wanted to mention it.
That's a fantastic game.
I really wanted to
actually
play
really
it.
fun.
Everybody talked it up. I was super excited. And
You didn't play it at my house when I had it?
Nope.
I almost thought you were going to say Rambo.
I thought you were going to be like Final Fantasy 13 Lightning Returns, and I'd be like, what?
Duck Dynasty.
No, I played that all on 360.
It was really going to throw me off.
Yeah. I am mad I never finished the third one. Like, after the amount of hours I sunk
13-3?
into... I destroyed 13, like 100 plus hours doing everything in that. Destroyed the second one with 13-2 Pokemon World, because that's essentially what it is. And then I got 13-3, played like 30 hours and didn't finish it.
And they brought in dress spheres, and then I hated the game.
If it makes you feel any better, there's like 10 hours of 13 story in 14.
What?
The stories are intertwined between 13 and 14. The story in 14 is fucking amazing.
Don't look at me.
Wild.
I have no answers.
Yeah, when 13.3 came out, they did this whole
Crossover
intertwined
thing,
story
yeah.
thing.
Why though? Everything they've always been big on standalones. Like, this is our story.
I mean, you can visit Midgard in 14 too.
Like,
No,
Blam Garden.
Blam Garden.
Blam! Da-da.
Okay,
Anyways.
honorable mentions. Steve?
Okay. I have Afro Samurai.
That was a game?
Oh, yeah.
It was.
I remember
it was
the
a
show.
It was a
the
very
show.
fun game. Assassin's Creed 2, Dead Island. I put a lot of fucking
you
hours into that.
I beat
goddamn
it,
game.
but, like-
yeah,
I played it on 360.
yeah. It was just stupid. GTA 4.
Wait, can we just talk about Dead Island for a minute? Because I don't know if it's ever going to come up on the podcast again.
It probably won't.
Their multiplayer sucked in that game.
It was
Harry's like,
it was
hold on, Harry's
very
like-
wonky.
Harry's like, hold on, I want to really simmer on this game and how fucking terrible.
Yeah, I
How
don't know.
bad Dead Island multiplayer was.
Dude, not only that, there was just so much potential with that game, and
There really
like,
was.
They blew
There
all of it.
was-
They blew all of it.
like with the AI, like I thought,
Yeah.
they were going to build on what Dead Rising did, where you can have your AI running, and like you do rescue some people, but then they're like,
Yeah.
just sit at the camp,
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah, nothing there.
I think-
Basically, Dead Island was a great skipping stone. Like, you skip that game and then you end up playing something like Dying Light, and you're like, holy shit, this game is fucking incredible. And then you look at Dead Island and you're like, yikes. Basically.
Dead Island was cool though, because there was a lot of really crazy recipes and stuff like that for weapons
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yeah.
shit.
There
that
was
fucking
great
crazy.
potential. They just fucking dropped the ball.
That was one of
And-
the-
but more on the second game, because the first one was enough at the time where it's okay,
It was
I can
innovative
work with
enough
this.
to keep you in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then when number 2 came out, it was no,
You're
no,
like,
thank
oh,
you.
they did nothing new.
Right.
I'll never forget playing Dead Island, and you know how they would rubber band the two characters so you couldn't go too far away from each
don't
other?
remember that.
So,
Vehicle off a cliff.
yeah.
Was that me and you?
Yeah. I drove a vehicle off a cliff because there was some zone that we couldn't go in, and we would just instantly die because whatever. I drove a vehicle off the cliff. Harry's about to open this door. He's like, oh, I think there's a chest in here or something. There's a bunch of valuables in here. It rockets him, rubber bands him over to me, who I'm still actively falling off of a cliff in a pickup truck.
What?
Yeah. So then I hit the water. Harry slams down on the back of the pickup truck and dies.
You remember that first mountain where there's an observatory at the very
Yeah.
top?
We're like,
Yeah.
let's go check this out.
I think he just we were driving the truck up and just
Yeah, Harry got out to check something out. I was like, all right, I'm going to go ram this fence. And I was expecting the fence to just, stop me or,
And you just yeeted him,
but
out of
it
existence.
it went through it like it was fucking made of paper. And
All
I was
right.
just like, oh!
Nice.
Yeah, that game's. I beat the whole thing with shit ton of hours, but boy, oh boy,
Hey,
did
you
I
know what?
not love it.
Still makes honorable mentions
Yeah.
because you have an experience.
I felt so lonely in that game.
Yeah.
All right,
AI
get it-
just
all right, get the fuck out of here. We're gonna be here all day.
Yeah, all right, let's get...
All right. I also said GTA 4 because that was on PS3. If you forget,
I played it on 360.
I played it on
Yeah.
360 as
And,
well.
and it was amazing, both story and multiplayer.
yeah,
Yep.
no, I loved it. And then there was GTA 5, Shovel Knight, Super Stardust HD, which is a very obscure kind of it was a free to play game, and it just took up a
Your PS3
shit.
Warframe.
Took up a lot. I mean this Super Stardust took Warframe and shoved it into the mud and then buried it about 6 feet deep. A lot of Stardust. the Tomb Raider that was released on PS3, because that was actually like a nice revamp.
Was that when they rebooted the series?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
there was the movie that came out along with it, which we had a review for, and then
we reviewed the game as well.
yeah,
I thought that came out on PS4 though.
PS3, and
There was a remaster to PS4. I played that on PC.
we can revisit before you get too far.
'Cause I have it.
If you want to correct us, go ahead and go to our Facebook page, like it, share it, and then
Let us know
we'll
what we're
probably
wrong.
ignore your comment.
No,
Well
we
done.
no, actually, we answered like pretty much everybody.
we did.
Hey,
Get
check
on the-
out check
get
out our
on-
Discord.
Yeah, get on the
Right.
Discord and tell us
Hey,
that we're wrong.
you
It's
just
fine.
pop on and be like, "Hey, bitch, I thought it was this," and then we'll come back. "Hey, bitch, it was that."
I did have it
And
for
then we're gonna be
360, the Tomb Raider as well, so I know it was on that gen as well.
I had it on 360 as well.
Okay. Well, I had PS3. Either way, my last game on the honorable mentions is Wet.
I vaguely remember the name, but I can't picture any of it.
It was like a Tarantino style game where it was a gun shooter female protagonist
Okay.
who also used samurai swords.
Okay,
and
that's
would
coming
do like a little bit of like jet set radio, like, and she would like grind it
was
across,
kind of
like, the walls.
cyberpunk-y?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
Before cyberpunk was like
Cyberpunk is a theme, not a game.
right. Exactly. That was like earlier.
Yeah.
Say it was like a Western samurai type of like in between type thing.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember that gameplay being very prevalent, so I fucking loved it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I
I
need to give
forgot that was a
credit
thing.
where it's due.
Very cool. All right, who else wants to go next on their honorable mentions?
Well, Harry went, Steve went. Do you want to go, or do you want me to go?
I'll go next.
All right.
I'm sure I got a couple that you don't have, and vice versa. Tiger Woods PGA Tour 07.
Okay.
All right, that's
definitely
that's
not on my
obscure,
short
but-
list.
Name
But,
dropping.
Yeah, sorry about the last name.
T Woods. Tiger W. Golf. Ain't nobody not gonna know what that is.
Oh man! So one of my friends got this when I was in Korea. He actually like took over the squad I was in. He was my supervisor, if you want to call it that. But he had it on PlayStation 3, and we played the fuck out of it. We would get hammered like all the time, and just like it's a great pass the sticks game because you could just
All right.
have however many people you had there and just pass the sticks and play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. Sorry, we would do like dumb like bets on each hole, like not in game, like closest to pin, and like all of that shit without like actually having it built into the game.
Sure. Yeah.
Cool.
So much fun. Ridge Racer 7, because I love arcade racers. Just a fucking great game, and I had just basically played Ridge Racer on PSP for 2 years because I couldn't have a console before that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time reshelled. So basically, remake of Turtles in Time
Love that game.
with online co-op. Fucking awesome. It's Turtles in Time. You can't get it wrong.
no, you can't.
Warhawk, which was basically, I wouldn't call it a Battlefield clone, but Battlefield clone. More space agey than Battlefield was at the time and things like that.
Did you only have that game because it came with the headset for PS3?
I did.
Yeah, same me. Same.
It came with a Bluetooth headset. Like
yeah.
one of the old school, like, had the plastic thing that went over your ear, and it was like the real
Clip in.
large.
Oh
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that came with the game. Got that. Which the servers just shut down, like in 2019.
Yeah, it was
Really?
very
It's
popular.
super popular game.
Well, apparently.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's actually like super huge communities to play it, like with third-party servers and stuff like that now.
Yep.
Is that like the flight simulation community?
So it's called Warhawk, but it's actually like a third-person shooter with like you're a person, and you get you get in vehicles just like Battlefield.
Okay.
Like you like run over to a tank and you drive the tank, or you run over to the
Gotcha.
jet. The jet, quote unquote, was called the Warhawk, which is where it's got its name from.
Question, real quick. Sorry,
I have quish.
So a lot of games, like eventually they do shut down their servers. Do they just like? Does that essentially eliminate any online capability, or does it go back to like somebody has to host and you could still play?
No, usually it just eliminates everything.
Does it? Okay.
Yeah, usually kills
That's
everything.
sad.
Ubisoft.
Dead in the water.
That's sad though. It's just
Ubisoft just shut down a bunch of other servers for a lot of games.
Yep.
But on top of that, they actually made it so you couldn't download DLCs for some of their games, which made no fucking sense at all.
You can only get the
stuff
main
from like 2 generations ago. It's from the PS3,
Yeah.
Xbox.
But if you purchased it, like you're like, oh no, I can download the main game, but I can't download the DLC. Anyways, different topic, different day.
Go check out some lag libations and lost saves for all of your news on Ubisoft being a fucking dick.
Yeah, Steve and I actually covered that in the news segment.
We did.
So I have one more game to cover in honorable mentions. Definitely not on any of your lists. It's a game called Rocksmith. So pretty revolutionary game. I loved Guitar Hero. I always wanted to play guitar. I was always terrible. I actually took guitar lessons in 6th grade.
I played this with you.
So this game actually made a cable. So the game came with a cable, with a USB cable that plugged into your electric guitar and would teach you how to play guitar. And it like an actual like electric guitar, or bass, depending on what your preference was. And it's fucking sweet.
I always wanted this, just to be able to play like one riff would be good enough.
So much fun. I mean, it goes on, from teaching regular basic notes where you're not actually playing chords, so like full on it'll show you how to play a chord, but it like with finger placement and everything like that. But as you get the finger placement right, instead of showing you where to put your fingers, it'll just say like play an E flat and the as coming down instead of telling you where to put your fingers. So you actually learn like how to read it too, and then you can turn it over to sheet, and it's pretty fucking sweet.
It is awesome.
All right, so 5 more
And
years.
you can
Best
play
band
2-player.
ever. You can play 2-player?
Yeah.
Yep.
Done.
I have 2 cables
Done.
because Kevin bought it and just left his cable at my house.
All right,
There you go.
let's shred.
I have a guitar and a bass.
I have a guitar.
Nice.
I have an
I can't wait
acoustic
till the
guitar.
new one comes out. It's gonna be fucking sweet. It's like free to play with DLC kind of thing is what they're shooting for.
Gotcha.
Where it's like because they're like an
Pay for
old,
songs.
sort of because they were like, okay, well we sold this game that had like 80 songs on it and all this DLC because they did DLC like Rocksmith did, like it was ridiculous, or like Rock Band did rather, and it was ridiculous. But then they were like, okay, the new generation came out and nobody can play this anymore. So now they're like, okay, well let's just do this different type of model where like it doesn't matter what you're playing on, and it'll just always be there.
It's 30
cool.
hours of icky thump.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
So for my honorable mentions, I have Far Cry 3. We reviewed Blood Dragon from that.
Oh, nice. I've only played that at your place when you were living with Harry.
That was a lot of fun.
Far
Blood
Cry 3
Dragon?
or Blood Dragon?
Blood
Blood Dragon.
Okay, yeah.
Blood Dragon was awesome.
Yeah,
Blood Dragon was fucking sweet.
Blood Dragon was fucking incredible. Far Cry 3 honestly is right up there though. Like I think that's probably one of my favorite Far Cries of all time.
I've actually never played anything other than Blood Dragon when I was at your place.
I feel like it's just a reskin, honestly. Well, the Blood Dragon was a reskin of Far Cry 3.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah,
It's
pretty
okay,
much.
Joe. I have never played any Far Cry other than Blood Dragon for the podcast.
I've played them all except for
6.
6. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Demon Souls. This is the birth of Dark Souls on this console, and I needed to just get that out there. That Demon Souls was awesome.
Go check out our episode. It's one of our most popular.
Dark Souls 3. Yep.
Sorry.
Killzone 3.
I've always wanted to play a Killzone.
The Killzone games are awesome. I think they're probably one of the tightest shooters out there. I feel like the physics, like the bullet physics and things like that, are very, very realistic. Like it's, like you really have to be on point with everything. And I think it's a very gritty game, and it's very visually appealing. It's a fantastic shooter.
Is it just because I don't know anything about the world in that, is it like an oppressive government and you're like an underground faction fighting
Yes.
against?
Yeah.
That's the impression I get when I see it.
It's basically it's like if the space Nazis won and then took over the entire planet of Earth, and you're kind of like trying to just like liberate from that. It's like, stormtroopers of death and shit like that. Like, the entire Saints Row series, I wanted to give that a shout out here.
All right.
I played the first one on 360, but I played the rest of them on PS3. And Saints Row games are it's a wackier, arcadier version of Grand Theft Auto, and it is just absolutely fucking insane. Yeah. Up to and including in 4, where you basically get superpowers.
And Cat Out of Hell. Is that Cat Out of Hell?
Gat Out of Hell is an expansion of that.
Okay.
As was Enter the Dominatrix.
Yeah.
That's hot.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, they just get absolutely wild, including, like, I remember for Saints Row 2, they were like, oh, you get, like, a bonus weapon. I was like, oh, what's the bonus weapon? They're like, you have to unlock it. We're not talking about it. It was at GameStop.
Is that the big dildo or whatever?
Giant purple baseball bat sized dildo that was just an unlockable weapon, and it just murdered people. And it was jiggly, and you swing it around, and you're just thumping people with this giant purple dildo. It was fucking wild.
It's real life.
Yeah, it's just a wild fucking game. Heavy Rain.
Okay.
Absolutely fantastic
Good
game.
call.
Did you play Heavy Rain?
A little bit.
Okay.
A little bit. In the beginning, like when you're like doing like...
Jason?
It'd be real bad if
Jason!
you only played at the end.
Jason?
Did you play Heavy Rain, Joe?
No.
'Cause I thought about
Bringing that to the table.
one of these years.
Well, it's
Just
on
sneaking in
PS4 now, so it's like easier to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a PS3 classic for me. I was absolutely obsessed with it, and I thought it had one of the coolest. So you originally you buy the game and it installs, and PlayStation always took a while to install its games. So
It's a Sony thing.
So you put the disc in, and they were like, "Oh, okay." So on the screen it tells you to open up your case. You open up your case, and you see a red envelope. And you pull the red envelope out, and you pull it out, and it's a piece of paper. And you slowly make one of the origamis for the origami killer in the game. You make like the origami
as
duck.
you put in the disc and it's loading, it's giving you instructions.
Yeah, on how to make
as
the
it's
origami.
loading, so you can.
Yeah, so you make origami while you're sitting there waiting for it to load. It was really cool.
Fucking stupid.
cool.
It was really fucking cool.
It's kind of immersive
awesome.
too.
Yeah, it's
Of
very
course.
immersive. And what I thought was really awesome is as I'm folding this thing, the final fold, there's blood on the beak, just like in the game.
Get the fuck
It was
out.
really fucking cool.
Okay.
It was really cool. Just the way that they present it to you, you don't really necessarily see it right off the bat because they're telling you like where to put your hands to do the origami and stuff like
Right.
that. So you're kind of covering it with your hand as you go.
In your hand.
Yeah, it was really cool.
They're another company I would say is up there with like Naughty Dog with their storytelling. Completely.
Storytelling, yes, not
Yeah.
with their graphics and everything. They're a little behind Naughty Dog in my opinion.
Really?
Environmentally, their character models are on par, but
Okay.
environmentally they're not quite there.
Because they did Detroit Become Human as well.
Okay.
And Detroit looks
Okay,
fantastic.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, it does.
You know,
I feel like this may be a
so-
different night.
so my last honorable mention is just a strictly technical honorable mention. I thought it was fucking incredible.
Give
It's
it
one
to
of the
me.
coolest things I've ever been a part of.
Last of Us?
Mag.
I thought that was going to get mentioned at some point tonight.
Shit! I forgot about Mag.
Playing in a 164 versus 164 giant
Yes.
Warzone was absolutely incredible.
That was insane.
But This is a game that got fucked up by pre-orders. The game became unbalanced immediately because GameStop had one pre-order, but it was only for one faction. So anyone that ordered from GameStop had these pre-orders and skins for one faction. So everyone that bought it at GameStop was then playing for that. But Best Buy and Target and Walmart,
And there are 23 people that they had on their side.
I'm just saying they all had different factions of gear. So when you first log in, there's a one giant faction, and then everything else is losing. And it was always like, if you're going to pick one of the other factions, which were the more interesting factions, they're in a losing battle immediately. It was rough. But
That's a
for the
bad
first,
call.
But for the first like week or two, and then for like another week or two after they kind of like rebalanced everything, because they basically the company was like, oh, we're just going to unlock all of the skins for everybody. After 2 weeks, it took them, but the first 2 weeks was rough. The second 2 weeks, it was just stupid fun. But yeah,
Did that game crash and burn real quick though?
No.
it lasted a really long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because I didn't hear anything about it after that whole faction thing.
It basically found its community of probably like 100,000 people that just consistently played it, and that was it. All right, let's move to games that defined.
Cool, because I'll go right next. My only game that was defined that has not been mentioned, technically just was, Bag.
Okay, fair enough.
So there was one of the games that I pre-ordered. I didn't pre-order it from GameStop because I was in Korea and there was no GameStop. But I played a lot of it. It was fucking amazing. As you mentioned, it was 256 player battles. Just
Stupid. It's just
absolutely
a
bonkers
stupid amount.
for like that time, because like the next closest thing was like Battlefield was doing like 16-16 at the time.
I know. I
Yeah.
thought that was impressive. I can only imagine.
And
Like,
Battlefield 4 finally
like-
came out, and they were like, "Oh, 64 v 64."
To be
but this
fair,
is-
Modern Warfare was doing like 10v10.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean,
so
little bits.
The cool things that Mag did was like they automatically did like Battlefield has like squads and stuff like that, but they're like more arbitrary. Like anybody can be a squad leader.
Yeah.
But in Mag, you actually had like the highest level people down, like were running the team and then running the platoons and then running the squads, and then we're just like regular grunts basically.
So, like,
and-
it kept rank,
Yeah,
basically?
So
you earned your rank.
Yeah.
If you loaded into a game and there was somebody that was like rank 150, they were the general, and they're giving orders to their 4 people, and then those 4 people are giving orders to their 4 people,
Yeah.
and it
Right.
like trickled
Yeah.
down.
They had like their own like subtasks and everything like that, and it was fucking crazy how they did it.
It was like just it was incredible. It was one of the coolest things. My crowning achievement in that was at one point I had a squad of 32 people basically under me at one point. I thought it was fucking cool because I was like, okay, we need to go get this, and this, and then I would like send orders to the next person to like, hey, this person, you did your task, fantastic. We're losing here. I need this squad to go over here. Like, it was so fucking cool.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. Like how the maps like formed and everything were amazing. It actually still holds Guinness Book of World Records for largest console FPS
Yep.
single game.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, nice.
nobody has tried to attempt to
It was
take that.
fucking amazing.
I mean, that I remember hearing about this when it came out, and that was an accomplishment in itself to be able to be like, hey, here's like a shit ton of people in one area at one point, all lifetime.
Yep. It was absolutely bonkers. Yeah, so that was the only game defining game that hasn't been basically mentioned already in a top 5 or an honorable mention.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. I just took off anything that's been mentioned already. There was a bunch in there that we've already mentioned that would be in game defining, I feel. But Heavenly Sword was a huge game for PlayStation 3. It's the chick with the red hair that they always used to.
Which one?
I might be getting
There's
this
a
confused with
lot of
Bayonetta
redheaded chicks who are protagonists.
Well, it's like PlayStation 3's redheaded chick. It's the only one that they ever used for any of their media and stuff like that. to promote the console and to promote the brand in PlayStation 3 era. God of War 3.
Okay. Yep.
I have the entire Ratchet and Clank series. I understand it started on PS2, but PS3 was like a renaissance for them. They had almost 8 games come out for it. It's just absolutely incredible. And and it was all of them were of a very high quality.
It was a good platform to bring them out on.
Yeah, and then again with the squad-based combat, Resistance, the entire franchise on here, I believe, defined this. Resistance 1 was okay, and it was like mostly focused on single player. The second one came out, and it was a little more like, hey, we're kind of like, do you guys like squads? Do you like, like horde stuff? Like, what do you kind of like? And then the third one came out, and it was absolutely fucking incredible. I played that game so much with my buddy Rich, and like I just have really fond memories of like he would like to snipe, and I would always be a heavy. And the way that they did their heavy character was their heavy character could deploy a shield, and it was something that you could shoot through. So like I'm walking forward with a minigun, and Rich is behind me sniping, and then our buddy Matt would be running and like phasing in and out and like throwing grenades and shit like that. But we were just moving as like one cohesive unit through the battlefield.
Right.
And then like
you found your unit. Yeah. That's what it came down to.
Yeah. And it's like as you get kills as the heavy, you're dropping health for the guys behind you.
Yeah.
And they're getting damage boosts for shooting through your shield. It was really like the squad mechanics were very intricate, and when you find that build that you really like, it's just incredible. And you could just mow through shit. Or game defining.
Console defining.
I may have gotten the Bayonetta and Heavenly Sword mixed up. It might have been. I'm gonna have to watch trailers later and see what memories come to mind.
Harry's going to eBay tonight.
It's all good. I throw shit together. So I have like a God of War, Skyrim, which I feel like for PS3 was like
it's a PC game for me.
Yeah, but at least like it's a very immersive game. Period.
No, I know. I don't know. I feel like the Bayonetta looks similar.
I actually put in Skylander, because I remember Kevin having like the figurines and like placing them on the little reader, and then they just pop up on the screen. I thought that was fun, so I had to. I just absolutely had to add them. Otherwise, the entire Uncharted series, that's just action adventure that I cannot ignore. And I hate to call it console defining, but GTA 5, because this is not just console defining for PlayStation 3, it's on 4.
It's not console defining on 4. I don't give a fuck what anybody says.
It's just that when that came out for PS3, that was like that was just like the end all be all. Like this is the end of all Grand Theft Autos. And then 10 plus years later, GTA 5 is still alive, still online, and the biggest fucking moneymaker for Rockstar that they've ever seen.
Microtransactions, kids. Don't fucking pay them or you'll never see another new game.
Yeah, you will never see a new game from Rockstar other than GTA 6, and then here's your online fucking version.
I have never given Rockstar money for online credits.
I have
bought them
I
via
did.
weird sub channels.
There was a point when they were saying
Did
it's
you
like,
really?
oh,
Yep.
you
Even
can
online?
like transfer your people over from PS3 to PS4. I'm like, I'll wait. They're gonna honor this. I'll wait.
And then they didn't.
I never got it.
Yeah.
And that old Steve is dead, and I will never revive him. I'm not gonna play that game anymore because I'd rather not deal with the grief. But it used to be fun.
It's just a hack fest now.
Yeah, it's just hacking all over the
Yeah.
place. It was fun, and there was a little while where Joe and I were playing together, and that was fun. But at one point, it's just like, okay, this is
Yeah, I'd rather not.
fair enough. All right, well, that has been our retrospective of the PS3. Join us in 2 weeks for Final Fantasy VII Remake.
We are going to the remake.
We should mention we have a Discord channel.
Yes, check our social medias.
Yes.
And you will have the link and invite to our Discord.
And check out our Patreon at patreon.com/superfunpodcast, where we ask for $1 a month, and we're looking for 14 more people so that we could be sustainable.
Oh, stop.
Well, we only say that because
we're not begging. If you guys like what we do and have the spare income to throw us a buck, that
then
would be
please
awesome.
support.
Alrighty. Well, stay lovely.
Stay sexy.
I love you guys.
Stay safe.